Let's talk about a term you've probably heard whispered around in real estate circles: off market. It sounds so exclusive, doesn't it? Kind of like a secret password to a better deal. But what's the real story behind all the hype? Well, we're about to dig in and find out. When you hear off market, your mind probably jumps to a very specific, very appealing picture. You're thinking of a hidden gem, a property that's somehow priced way below its actual value. You imagine a seller who just wants a quiet, easy sale. And best of all, no bidding wars, no public frenzy, just a straightforward, amazing deal. I mean, it's a great fantasy, right? It's exactly what every buyer wants. But is that what's really happening? Is that the whole story? Okay, let's pull back the curtain and get to the simple, almost boring truth of what this term actually means. It's, well, it's a lot more straightforward than the myth makes it out to be. And there it is. That's the whole definition. An off-market property is just a home that hasn't been put on the multiple listing service, the MLS. That's the main database that real estate agents use. It's a logistical term, that's all. It's not a judgment of the property's value or the deal you can get. So, and this is the really crucial part, the label off-market doesn't automatically mean a discount. It doesn't mean the seller is desperate, and it for sure doesn't guarantee you're going to get some amazing terms. It just means one thing: it's not on the MLS. All right, so if it's not some secret club for bargain hunters, then where in the world do these off-market homes actually come from? Well, the sources have a lot more to do with timing and relationships than anything else. Think about it like this. An agent might hear through the grapevine that a friend of a client is thinking about selling. That's a source. Or you've got sellers who are just kind of testing the waters. They're curious what their home might be worth, but they are nowhere near ready to actually commit to selling. And then, of course, you have the pros: investors, flippers, and builders who often trade properties among themselves without them ever hitting the public market. And this is where we get to the real difference. The common thread connecting all these sources isn't a secret desire for a quick, cheap sale. It's uncertainty. For a whole lot of these sellers, the decision to actually sell just isn't final yet. And this right here brings us to the absolute core of the issue. It's not about the listing status. It's about the seller's mindset. And this creates a really clear picture of two totally different types of sellers. Just look at this contrast. On one side, you have your on-market seller. They've made up their mind, the decision is made, they have a price they're aiming for, and they are motivated to get the deal done. But the off-market seller, they're often just exploring. There's a lot more uncertainty, their expectations are fuzzy, and for you as a buyer, it means you're going to need a whole lot more patience. So after busting the myths and looking at the reality, what's the big takeaway here? What should you really walk away with? It really boils down to two simple but super powerful ideas. First off, think of it this way. Going after off-market properties isn't some magic button you press for a better deal. It's a strategy. And it's a strategy that, yeah, it might reduce competition, but it often requires more time, more networking, and way more patience. It's a different path, not an easier one. And here it is, the most important point of this entire explainer. The phrase off-market is just a label. The real indicator of a good opportunity is the seller's motivation. A highly motivated seller on the open market can be a way better opportunity than a totally unmotivated, uncertain seller whose property happens to be off-market. So I'll leave you with this to think about. As you're out there looking for your next opportunity, are you just chasing a buzzword? Or are you focused on what really, truly matters? Finding a seller who has the right motivation to make a deal.